I'm getting lessons like every day, every week. I think it's a really great environment. It's an environment that grew like since '89. It was zero, and it grew in 10-year steps. That went from RAV antivirus, on the 10th of millions, into Bitdefender, hundreds of millions, and then UiPath into the billions. And each of these steps brought a lot of knowledge, a lot of trust, a lot of energy, both for the investors as well as for the founders. We're now kind of wrapping up the UiPath glory that brings a lot of knowledge, global knowledge, expansion knowledge, unicorn knowledge that gets out through the suppliers of UiPath, through the people, employees of UiPath, that goes out and deploys their knowledge either through mentorship or through investments together with money that came from UiPath. A lot of investment tools, a lot of VCs came on board. Gapminder, Early Game, Roca, Sparking, Seedlink. I mean, there are so many, Growth Channel. There are so many local investment tools, very well suited for the entrepreneurs, for the companies. Catalyst, Early Bird for kind of later stages. But a lot of VCs from outside Romania are really interested. Credo, One Day Capital, VCs that are looking to this environment, see it grow and help it grow. Startups do have a lot of opportunities to get money. It's not only the VCs, but it's equity crowdfunding. It's a lot of business angels that are looking around to invest. So at this moment, it's not a problem of finding money. It's a problem of getting the right answers to convince that money to come to you. So there is money around, and you only need to have the right story for the money, the right product to be able to get that money. The founder of the startup needs to be a problem solver. So the founder of a startup is not necessarily a thinker or whatever fancy kind of thing. The main quality is to solve problems, because in a startup's life, every day comes with a new problem to solve. And at least at the early stages in a startup, the founder is going to need to literally patch everything to work just until tomorrow, right? You need to find a little bit of money until the next round. You need to find 2 more customers because, the VCX told you that, you need to have customers. Something breaks on the technology, something doesn't work, you have an unhappy customer, your main customer is leaving, you need to bring him back. So you need to patch things every day. So I think that the main quality that a startup founder in the early days of the company is to be able to patch. It's being a problem solver. Now, as time goes by, the CEO needs to bring in technology knowledge, and then the next CEO needs to bring in sales knowledge, and then the next CEO needs to bring financial knowledge, as the objectives of the companies change. Because originally the objectives of the company is to survive. You're an early days startup, you need to survive until tomorrow and do something. Then you get your investment, you have a little bit of runway, and you need to build technology. So your main objective is technology. You need to have a technology-oriented management. Then your technology is more or less ready. Then you need to work on the top line. You need to throw in your product in the market. You need to build in really top line, like user base, free user base. You need to build your traditional top line, your sales, your revenues. So you need sales knowledge and sales type of a company and the CEO. And then you are going from the top line into the bottom line, and you need to build EBITDA and profitability. And then the main knowledge of the company is financial. So the entrepreneur needs to kind of either be able to change his knowledge and behavior, or to be able to surround himself or herself with good people in these directions as the company grows, or the company to be mature enough to actually change the CEO during these periods. I wouldn't go so far to make recommendations to startups. I mean, each startup is different, and each of them needs to find their own way to find money. I would say if I was a startup, I think the most important thing for me would be to be able to convince myself that I can do things. That I need to convince myself that A, I have a good vision where the product is going to go, and I'm able to actually put it in the right words. B, I have to convince myself that I can execute upon that vision. I'm able to deliver the promise of the vision. And the third is that I have the right values to be able to work with my team. So if I'm looking at these three pillars, I'm saying it again. One is the vision of the company. I need to understand that, and I need to be able to explain very clearly, very short and very sharp, what do I want to do. And then second pillar is I need to convince people that I'm able to execute upon the vision. So I'm telling you, Mr. Investor, what I want to do in the next 3, 4, 5 years. So what my product is going to be, what my vision is, and why this vision is great. And then I can actually deliver that vision to you. Myself, my team, my existing team, my future team, I'm able to put together a future team, my partners. So my experience, all the things are very important. And then, of course, have the right values, the right values together with the vision, the right values for the investors, the right values for the human being in general. So I'm getting lessons like every day, every week. I'm having a lot of failures, and each failure it's a great joy. Each failure it's a great experience. Of course, one can read and listen podcasts and whatever about these experiences of other people, but it's not the same. I mean, your own experiences are great. I'm getting the hard way all this lessons, like, don't put understand what your core asset is in a company. Back up your core assets. Understand whether the core asset is a person or a technology or whatever. Try to make sure that your what you're proposing to your customer is the right thing. Change it. All the lean experience. So all these things are great, and it's not only one kind of. You cannot point out a single lesson. This is the most important experience. A founder needs to have a broad experience. It's a problem solver in general. A founder needs to have a huge array of knowledge in everything. It needs to be able to find out the right people to solve a problem. So I wouldn't point out something. I'm coming back to where we started from, where a founder needs to be a problem solver and needs to be able to come and make sure that at the beginning, a company survives to see the next day. And then a company understands what the requirement of your customer is. And this doesn't mean that it's not going to change. I mean, it's going to change every day, but each day you need to understand what is today's requirement and build that technology. And then make sure that you can actually sell to the customer. The customer is happy to what you have, and you can move left and right where you can smell the request and the money. And then you can make this thing profitable. So any experience that can help in order to build this thing, this chain is great, and that's what the successful companies and successful founders do.